So as a new player, there is going to be a lot of resources that you are going to be thrown into that you are going to be required to try to understand, and more specifically min-max to try to get the most out of them, right? So today we're going to be taking a look specifically about energy to see how you are supposed to handle it and how to be as efficient as possible with some tips and tricks and just get the most out of that daily energy recharge and just in general just be much more efficient with it, right? So let's get into it. My name is Midway and I hope you enjoyed this video. Before we get any further, please check out Aptoide if you haven't done so yet. It's going to be allowing you to buy stuff for free by getting bonuses when you do purchases through Aptoide, when you play Raid Shadow Legends through Aptoide, and then once you do get those bonuses, you're going to be able to use them to do the purchases for you instead of actually using your real money. Really cool. We'll talk more about that at the end of the video. For now, let's keep on going. Now, very simple facts about energy that some new players might not know about. Energy is going to be regenerated passively at a rate of 1 energy every 3 minutes, and there is going to be an increase in the cap of energy every time you go 1 level higher, right? So now that I'm level 50, I have 50 more max energy that I can accumulate as a total, right? Once I do get to max energy, the energy regeneration is going to be stopping and I'm not going to be able to go any higher than that. Now, one thing that is extremely important to be efficient with it is to try to never let that energy bar reach max, right? You want to be keeping it running as much as possible. Now, I think if you were to do so, you could potentially get, I think it's about 400 and something energy every day just letting it passively regenerate. That is if, of course, if you logged in every single day and spend your energy so it never actually caps out. So you would need to be doing this even throughout the night, right? So this is kind of nuts. You're barely ever going to be able to do that. It's probably never going to be happening, but there is some ways we can work around that energy cap, taking other things into consideration so it can be more efficient. If you want to join my team in Raid Shadow Legends, click the link in the description to get a free Narma as well as Anax, Uugo, and Mausoleum Mage as you progress through the game. Here's what you need to do. First of all, log out of Platinum Play on PC and uninstall. Then click the link in the description and register a brand new email. Launch Raid and complete the tutorial, and then go to your inbox and claim your first champ. Don't miss out on your chance to get a fresh start in Raid with a free Narma and 3 epic champs. Click on my link right now. Now, there is going to be many ways of getting energy for free throughout different avenues, like for example doing quests, or through, as a new player, mainly going through the campaign. You're going to be showered with many rewards which will give you energy. In particular, there is one daily quest which takes you to fight in arena 5 times. That's always going to be giving you some extra energy in the form of an energy refill. Now let's real quick talk about energy refills. They are going to be extremely important. You're going to be able to do a big smart use of them to get the most out of your energy, right? So an energy refill, of course, you can go ahead and buy them, but you're going to be getting a lot of those mainly just for free, passively through events, daily, in many ways, right? Now, a full energy restore, or just like an energy restore potion, is going to be taking your energy up by the amount of your total cap of energy, meaning that if I was going to be buying an energy potion right now, my energy, or my current energy, would go all the way up to 140. That is because I would be adding to my current energy pool the amount that I mentioned, the amount of my max energy, right? So I would be getting 20 plus 120, right? Now, one very smart thing to do as a new player early on is to not actually use your energy refills unless you really need to and you want to. But if you go ahead and wait until you are like level 25 or something like that, that max energy pool is going to be a little bit higher, right? So the energy refills, if you get them from like the daily quests or some events, they're going to be able to be sitting in your inventory for quite some time, for like a couple days, if not like 99 days like some other rewards do. So you can just like store them in your inbox right there and wait until you are like, as I mentioned, level 25, something like that. You level up very quickly early on, so don't get me wrong, you're going to be getting there in only a couple days, instead of like doing it right away when you just start a new account and you're like level 5. At that point, you're going to be getting a lot more efficiency out of using those energy refills. Straight up, simple trick, just don't actually use those and instead rely on other avenues of getting energy refills, which are going to be a lot of as a new player, right? So that is a very cool trick and a very easy way of getting a lot of energy efficiency right off the bat as a new player. Next up, and as I already sort of mentioned, there is is going to be many different ways in the game to get a lot of extra energy from doing things that wouldn't really take you out of your normal gameplay loop. For example, certain challenges early on in the game, if you go ahead and check out the rewards, and I don't think I have any right now, but they are possibly gonna give you some energy. Now, some that will do a lot and very early on will be very valuable is the missions, right? If you go ahead and check the missions, at the moment I don't think I have any, but there is going to be some at some point throughout those missions, like early on as well, that they're going to be giving you a lot of extra energy, right? So going through these systems that will really require you, like, not, as I mentioned, not moving you from like your normal gameplay loop of like farming the campaign or doing the dungeons. If you simply try and focus on this at some point, like as you can see right here, whenever the magic keep is active, I could just go ahead, do that, and take some of these quests out of the way, and I can quickly and easily get myself to 100 extra energy. And there's going to be a lot of this kind of rewards. For example, we have an energy refill right here, and as the missions get higher level, they're going to be, of course, getting you higher rewards, but they are sometimes going to be taking a little bit more, I don't know, runs of a certain dungeon. So the ratio of reward to amount of energy spent might not be the best as you are getting higher and higher, specifically on the missions, but they are still, especially early on, a very easy way of getting your hands or just your hands on some extra easy energy. Now, as I already mentioned, very important, daily, just go ahead and do that quest that's going to be giving you a full energy refill, that arena fight. Just fight 5 times, even though you might not be a big fan of arena. I kind of didn't really want to do it early on. It was a little bit annoying. I don't know why, I really just don't kind of enjoy PvP, but just getting it done anyways, even if you lose the battles, that's going to be giving you a full energy refill, which, by the way, is going to be able to be stored. I think it actually goes to your inbox, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if actually this one applies already now, because there is some kind of energy refills which immediately apply to your actual max, or like the current energy that you have. Some of those, well, you cannot really do much about them. All you can do is try to spend it as soon as possible, but if I don't actually remember if this is one of those kinds of energy refills where it just immediately applies. You're gonna be finding more types of energy refills from other types of missions or other quests, very easily to do. For example, over here, I think the ascend a champion one time, you can like ascend an uncommon champion even, and that's going to be extremely easy to do, and that's going to be giving you another extra full energy refill. Same thing will happen, for example, over here with some monthly quests, which will take a little bit of extra time, but making sure you get all of this done, it's always going to be coming with some extra rewards. Specifically looking at the energy, there's going to be many easy avenues of getting some of this done. Now, even into the advanced quest section, which I'm not sure if it's unlocked right off the bat as you start playing this game, you might need to level up a little bit, you will find some quests which are going to be changing daily, but it's guaranteed that at least one of the quests is going to be coming with a 50 free energy reward from it, right? So in this case, I need to fight a team, or rather with a team myself, with 4 different affinities. I could put together a very crappy team with 4 different affinities, lose a battle, and then I would easily just be able to get this for free, right? I might as well just go ahead and do that right now. Right, so let's go ahead and maybe try and fight this guy. I think I could probably beat him. Now, let's see. My team consists of actually 3 different affinities, so what if I take away, I don't know, Owella, maybe that's going to be just fine, and I could put in somebody else who's got a different affinity. So we could do, for example, I don't know, this guy right here. I think we at this point we got 4 of those, right? I could even get, I think that's all the affinities it is, right? There's like no more than 4. So yeah, we could just go ahead and do this. It's probably gonna be a one-shot from my allies, and extremely easily in no time, just by putting a little bit of attention to whatever that advanced quest had for me daily, I'm gonna be able to get myself some 50 extra energy, which I really need right now because I want to be farming the campaign and getting some extra money out of there so that I can keep on upgrading my Udex Arthur, which I just recently upgraded. And if I'm not mistaken, I should be able to just go ahead and claim that advanced quest reward right now. There we go, 50 extra energy for me. Now, as you can see, if you actually fill all the advanced quests every single day, you're gonna be able to get also a full extra energy refill out of that. Some of these might not be that easy to do. For example, ascend a piece of gear one time is gonna be costing you a little bit of resources, right? It's not gonna be that accessible early on. Same goes for artifacts and stuff like that, like increase craft 1 resilience artifact. It's not something you can do every day, right? But at least if you happen to be able to get to that, it's a little bit of extra efficiency you can get in there. Achievements, I think if you actually just go through this whole thing, you're gonna be able to get some extra energy out of those. At this point, I've done them already, so I don't remember what they came with, but this is something you can get done very easily as a new player with a new account. Just do all of these once, and they are gonna be getting, you're gonna be getting a lot of extra energy energy out of just doing some basic stuff, which is going to be an account setup basically. Now another massive source of extra energy is going to be to just go ahead over here and watch the Arbiter limited series here, the Call of the Arbiter. Now this might look a little bit weird to you, but it's just a couple videos where whenever you click on those, you're not actually going to have to sit through the entire video. You can just click here on share trailer and just close it immediately, and it's going to be allowing you to claim these rewards, right? You don't actually need to share it. I think you just need to copy it, and in fact if you do copy it, I think that is when it actually is able to be claimed, right? So you can do this through all of the videos. This is going to be available to any new account, and as you can see, basically everything here has a bunch of energy, right? So what's the episode? I think if you actually watch the thing, you do get those 50, right? So I think I might as well do that because I need a lot of money. But every single one of these videos, if you just share it, you actually get 100 energy. There we go, 100 energy, a bunch of money, 100 energy, some potions. So you can do a lot of this stuff, and as you can see, it is, I don't know how many videos there is. I think it's like 7 or 8. So yeah, just count it for yourself. That is a lot of extra energy as well as other stuff without doing anything else in the game. I think you are actually kind of prompted to watch this initially once you like first create your account. It might actually be shining in red when you click on them, like over here. And yeah, it's pretty easy to miss. I think actually it took me a couple days to actually get to it, but it's an insanely easy way to just get a big boost of energy very early on in the game. Now this is not really an efficiency matter, right? Because well, you can only do this once, but the efficiency comes around when you actually cap out your energy. Like let's say you claim them all and you are sitting at like 1,000 energy. Now at that point you are not regenerating energy for a long time. You would really want to get into just dumping that energy anywhere. For example, most likely just farming the campaign and doing a bunch of levels, especially if you're like already farming level 12 stage 3. Even if that is only on like normal, if that's a new account, that's very easy to do. And that way you're already generating a lot of silver, generating XP for your characters. You really just don't want to be sitting on like 1,000 energy right off the bat and then be like, oh, I'm happy, I have a lot of energy, and just log out. Because the thing is, if you are sitting at 1,000 energy, the next time you log in, you're gonna be still sitting at 1,000 energy. You're gonna have regenerated no energy whatsoever. It's kind of cool to have a lot of energy, but you want to be using it. That is really the big idea about this. Now, you will, of course, always be getting some rewards for daily logins, and a lot of these are going to be coming with a big amount of energy, right? Like, first of all, a couple login rewards for, like, the first month. You can see you get 500 energy every so often. Like, I think it's, like, 4 times a month. There we go. It's always 4 times a month. That is also going to be increasing. I think eventually it goes up to a little bit higher. There go 650. At this point, it's only 2 times a month somehow. But you are kind of going to be able to just get a big boost of energy every now and then just for simply logging in. Same thing applies to other stuff, like in this case I think we had Udex Arthur, these other extra rewards which we got daily for a little while. Now that's going to be going away soon, but these also comes around with some extra energy. So always be looking out for these kinds of events, knowing when every couple days you're going to be getting an energy boost out of these free rewards, and planning around having that energy be dumped, right? So you're not sitting on it and just being inefficient with it. In a similar manner, you're going to be able to find extra energy rewards out of basically every single tournament. It's most likely going to be coming with some of those, as well as every single event. Now that's not guaranteed, as you can see over here. This event, for example, doesn't reward any energy, so in that case you could completely ignore it. But if you're going to be getting it done anyways, like for example I was doing some champion upgrading right here, and I might as well just go through this, right? I did some of this, and somehow this one also doesn't contain any energy rewards. I think the dungeon divers actually also doesn't, right? So in this case, a little bit unlucky in that reward, but still, I mean, checking it out and seeing if you might be able to get any energy rewards out of just the events that are currently active, that is always a good idea and just something to do. In the same manner, really, it's clan versus clan being active. It's a massive and easy way of getting a big energy boost. Like for example, today my clan already cleared out all the all the rewards here, all the milestones for tier 1. So I got, what is it, 15, 30, 40, 60. I got a lot of extra energy out of simply getting all this stuff, right? So being in a clan and doing clan versus clan events, you're gonna be able to simply be showered by all these rewards, right? Pretty much any clan is gonna be able to clear the entire first set of milestones on tier 1. Unfortunately, we are not on tier 2. That would of course get you higher amounts of energy. If you go to tier 6, you can see that those energy rewards are a lot higher. And same sort of applies to the personal rewards, which is a special kind of event. Not every single clan versus clan tournament is going to be having the personal rewards, but in this case these are also going to be coming with a big boost on that energy, right? I'm going to be able to redeem these once the clan versus clan event finishes, as you can see right here. and that is only if we actually end up winning. But again, I need another big boost of energy you can get simply for being in a clan. You actually, of course, need to get the points on the clan versus clan event to actually redeem these once it actually ends, but extremely important and insanely easy to do to just get a big boost. Now, while in the subject of being in a clan, there is also extra ways of getting energy just for being in one, and that is going to be in the clan shop. Now, I'm not too sure if it's the best idea to spend your clan points over here, I think they're called, I don't know, the clan coins or whatever, on the actual energy packs, but that's something you can do. Now, I've been using mines onto these two legendary champion fragments, which honestly I don't think it's probably a good idea. I think Yannick over here is kind of useless. She's only useful in arena and not even that great, and this guy over here, Yakarl, also not the greatest, so it's gonna be taking ages to actually get these guys. And I think Yannick fragments are worth 100 of these tokens, and the Yakarl ones are worth 150 tokens, every single one of those. So that is already a massive spending I've been doing on these guys, and I've been buying them basically weekly, so this shop is refreshing every week. And instead I could like be buying 1,000 energy, right? I could be easily spending 1,000 of these tokens every week, because you get a lot of those in many ways. For example, doing the clan quests, which some of which are going to be extremely easy, like, I don't know, I think I was trying to do this one. I think I was missing a little bit of money, so I could like finish this up right now and get myself 100 of these tokens, or rather clan gold, that's what it's called. A lot of these quests you're gonna be able to easily do, even if you're a new player, as soon as you start getting a little bit into the loop of the game, and that way you can start earning some of that clan gold, and even if you wanted to, buying some of that energy, right? Also, the silver, a little bit juicy, but I think I would rather instead spend it on the energy. You're gonna probably get more silver than this if you actually use your energy and farm some extra content, and you will also be getting XP, like for example, just farming the campaign. Another tip that I have for you is going to be to use promo codes whenever you can. Now, if you just go over here to this section and type in on the promo codes, you're gonna be able to find a bunch of promo codes, which I'll show you in a moment, which are gonna be giving you extra energy, basically for free, although you can only use one of these promo codes every day. If we go, we are at hellhades.com, and here you can find all the active promo codes. So probably in basically any mobile game, there's going to be a bunch of codes usually active at once, which are going to be giving you some free stuff, right? So for example, we have right here one that's going to be giving you 100 energy. This one gives you 1 energy refill. This one also gives you another energy refill. This one is going to be giving you another energy refill, right? So a bunch of these you're going to be able to just straight up use and get all this stuff for free. Ideally, you would use actually all of these, right? There's no reason not to go ahead and do that, but you can only use one a day, right? You gotta wait for 24 hours before you can use the next one. So in that case, if you really want to be going for that energy and being as optimal with it, you could probably prioritize the ones that are going to be giving you like the most energy. Also, for example, this one would probably be the better one with the XP brews, the silver, the multi-battles thing and stuff like that, but you kind of just want them all. So that's also basically a very new player friendly tip, and you can also get a lot of these good stuff as well if you are going to be using a promo code, like for example mine, that's going to be down in the description. But there's also a big bunch of other promo codes. So yeah, for example, here there's one that's going to give you 100 energy, although you can only use one of these basically forever in your account. As you can see, only one can be used, and it can only be used before you're like level 15. So yes, this can also give you some extra energy. All in all, the codes and the promo codes in general are going to be a very good way of getting some extra energy if you haven't done so and used them yet. And the next tip will really take you the extra mile in being efficient with your energy, and it's all going to be a matter of how you actually use it, right? So let's just say you're, for example, doing a certain kind of dungeon because there's an event or a tournament active. You want to be doing a little bit of farming. So for example, right now there is a Dragon Slayer event going on right now where we are able to farm some of these extra pieces, like for example, double chance of getting speed gear, which is very good. Now, as you can see, of course, as you go higher and higher on the levels, they're going to be costing you more energy. That is, of course, because, well, there's going to be better loot out of the higher levels. But yeah, I mean, we could choose to, for example, do, I don't know, like stage 11 instead of 12, but the reason there will just be like the real deal here would be that we are losing a little bit of extra chance of getting better gear. Now, the real stuff would come if that we are able to actually clear the level that we are going to be wanting to do. For example, let's just say I want to be farming stage 13 for whatever reason. I want to be getting some cheap runs in there where I'm going to be doing them and being able to complete some events. But I'm also, what's going to be happening here is that I'm going to be valuing the XP that's going to be coming from this boss, right? So let's just say it's a lower level that I'm usually doing and I'm able to clear it sort of easy. In which case, what I could very much do is remove some of the already champions that I got maxed out, which I'm definitely going to be clearing this even if I'm not going to be using my full team, and instead putting in somebody else that I want to be like leveling up. Let's just say I want to be leveling up this guy just because I want to be using it as food to upgrade some other character, and I'm already gonna be easily clearing this whole fight with only these 4 guys, right? In which case, well, I would just be getting extra efficiency, both getting the rewards out of the fight that I want for whatever, like I'm gonna be dropping the gear, and I'm also gonna be getting the silver, and I'm gonna be getting the stuff that I need for the tournament, but also I am going to be getting the XP, which otherwise I would not be getting whatsoever because my guys are already maxed out. In this case, I'm gonna also be adding that extra efficiency onto this whole setup because, well, I'm getting a little bit of extra levels onto this one character. And as you can see, we ended up being easily able to clear this entire thing. We actually got an ancient shard out of that, somehow, very lucky. But on top of the gear and whatever else would drop, I also got those couple levels, right? A little bit of that XP onto this one character, as I mentioned, taking that efficiency one step higher. Now you can apply this another way, for example, that's gonna be coming in very handy, which is in the Minotaur's Labyrinth, right? Let's just say you're farming the scrolls for upgrading the masteries on your characters, right? No matter what level you are, although I would recommend you doing this at higher levels, like for example, once you can clear like the higher stages, because otherwise it's like not really energy efficient in general. You're getting basically anything for a big, very, very high cost of energy. But if you're gonna be farming this and getting your scrolls, you want to be doing this when your characters are not like leveled up. Like if I'm gonna be farming this and everything's level 60, I am getting no XP, right? So once again, applying the same concept, if I was, for example, going to be getting scrolls and I'm going to be getting them anyways, like I value them on all these characters, or I just, for example, upgraded this guy to 6 stars and he's still being leveled up to level 60. I want to be farming the scrolls now because I'm both going to be getting the scrolls on my guys as well as getting the XP, right? Even though we're not really getting that much XP out of the Minotaur, we are eventually going to be accumulating enough of that we are basically going to be leveling up stuff for free. So the key idea of this whole thing is to try and suck up more resources out of the game wherever possible and not be wasteful with your energy. So for example, yes, if I was going to be doing this at level 60 with every character as I already mentioned, that energy is totally going to waste. And this same concept totally applies to campaign farming. Now, if you're a new player here and you still don't know, the best way to earn XP and really just farm up silver and XP for your characters and upgrade people here is going to be to farm stage 3 onto level 12 because there's the best XP to silver ratio because of the kind of gear that's dropping from here, as well as just the energy that you're spending onto it, right? So the idea here would be the same, to simply be using one character that's able to clear the entire thing instead of actually using like 2, and then the rest of your setup is going to be people that you want to be leveling up. So the way that I do this is just like I set up a bunch of low level or low tier guys that I want to be using as food to upgrade my other characters. I just set up a lot of those. For example, here I could like set them all up in the queue, just let this running and use my energy, and the best and most efficient usage of my energy is going to be happening because as soon as one of these guys is leveling up, another one is going to be subbed in so he can be leveled up, right? So we are getting 75% of the XP that drops on this run is all going to be used on characters that are always being leveled up, right? That is the max energy efficiency you can actually get from just farming the campaign and leveling up your champions. Also, on the subject of efficiency, there is going to be very, very good ways of getting more value out of just what you're spending. That is, of course, if you decide to spend, right? So I have some tips for you if you decide to actually put some money into the game. And I'm not yet talking about Aptoide. I am talking about the daily kind of things that you can buy that's going to be giving you a lot of extra resources for a limited amount of money. If you were going to be doing that, the first thing that you would want to be buying, and probably the most valuable pack there is in the game, is the daily gem pack. You're going to be getting, I think it is like 2,100 gems for about $10. That is going to be taking you a massively long way because you can spend whatever you want with those gems. Most importantly, of course, you can also go ahead and buy a lot of extra energy refills for a very, very cheap price. This is probably the best use for your gems, is just to buy a lot of energy refills, although you can do other stuff with those, like for example, buy all like full masteries for some character instead of actually farming the Minotaur for like 800 gems. Now, on the same subject, there's going to be the daily energy pack, which is going to be allowing you just daily to grab a big bunch of extra stuff you can do. For example, every couple, I think it's like every 7 days, as you can see right there, you're going to be getting a big boost of energy, and every other day is 125 plus a refill, plus also a couple of extra auto battles, right? So this pack is going to be extremely powerful if you really are trying to be as efficient and just as just in general get the most out of the game with your gameplay every single day. I would really recommend getting those two as the most important ones, especially the daily gem is just going to be allowing you to do so many other stuff. If you really just want to be getting more energy refills, spending those gems is going to be the best way to do so on the refills. And if you're going to be doing that, you might as well do so through Aptoide, right? As we talked about before, if you are going to be doing these purchases or any other purchase within Raid Shadow Legends, you want to be doing it through Aptoide, right? Just download Raid Shadow Legends through Aptoide. There's going to be a link down there in the description explaining how to do that. And then once you do try to buy these packs, you're going to be able to get bonuses that can go from extra 10% of your money you're spending all the way out to extra 35% of that amount, right? So picture that you're going to be buying this thing, and there you go, you can get almost extra 3 euros. Now, you of course here are using your real money, but once you do have enough bonus, you can go ahead and buy whatever else with the bonus instead of your actual money, right? So let's just say I want to be buying this pack. I could go ahead and use my Aptoide balance, which is the bonuses that we're getting, instead of my actual money, and just being able to afford it for free, right? We're getting more value for our money through the bonuses and eventually allowing us to afford more things without actually spending our real money, right? If you go ahead and use my code, which is going to be on the link down there in the description as well as here on the screen, you're going to be able to earn an extra bonus of 5% from the get-go. We might as well just go ahead and open this up right now, although we don't have enough silver somehow. But yes, if you go ahead and use that, you're going to be also helping me out a lot. If you go ahead and use my code, it's going to be taking me to the extra mile over here of efficiency doing these videos, if you know what I mean. And anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye, see you.